Well, as you may know, we don't have a trade deal with the US at the moment, and we've been in the EU for 43 years, and indeed we've had a great deal of difficulty exporting some UK products such as beef to the US. I think don't forget of the non-EU trade that we do, 73% of it doesn't involve any kind of trade deal at all. We would do very well trading globally, as we always used to do. The WTO is now helping to bring down tariffs worldwide, and we've got a fantastic opportunity to take back control of very considerable sums of money, £350 million per week, and our borders, and to stop the erosion of our democracy. Obviously, the British people are going to have to decide on June the 23rd as to whether they want to continue to be sucked in to a federation that is getting more and more intense and involves more and more erosions of national sovereignty, or whether they want to have a new start. And I think there are now tens of millions of people around the European Union, possibly hundreds of millions, who think that the Brussels project has got too remote, it's impossible to know who's making these decisions, who's in charge of these laws, and it's very important that we stick up for the principle of democracy.
Do you regret your remarks
John
in the Sun
McDonald's
this
accused
morning?
you of dog whistle racism today.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
what I
fair?
wanted to ask you as well.
Okay, well, let me just answer those points. The point I'm making, and I think it's very, very important, is that, look, I'm a huge fan of Barack Obama. I think I was one of the first politicians actually in this country to support his candidature back in 2008. But I think it is very, very odd that the United States, which guards its sovereignty so zealously and so jealously, should be giving us lectures about going into this federal system. Don't forget that the US has not only refused to subject its citizens to the International Criminal Court, they haven't even signed up to the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, and they're asking the UK to go into something, or to stay into something which is intensifying, and where 60% of the laws are now, that go through the House of Commons, are now originating one way or another in Brussels.
You've implied that he
and I think that is very, very perverse, paradoxical.
You've implied that he dislikes Churchill so much that he may have had a statue moved from the Oval Office. Barack Obama has said, "I love Winston Churchill, I love the guy." And that's
exactly, and I'm delighted by that, because the crucial thing that Winston Churchill stood for, and I think the crucial thing that America stands for, is representative democracy. And the problem with the EU is that nobody knows who's in charge, nobody knows who's making these decisions. And, as I say, I think it's very, very weird that the United States should be telling us to do something they would not dream of doing in a million years themselves. And I might add that I do think it's odd that we're being asked to give, the Americans think we should give £350 million a week to Brussels, when they still owe us, they owe the people of this city £9 million in unpaid congestion charge fines.
Why did you mention
such is their hysterical.
His Kenyan ancestry? Why did you mention that?
Well, as I've said, the argument, I think people are trying to distract from the point I'm trying to make, which is that it is very, very important that we should focus on the United States' what they do, which is to stick up for their system of representative democracy, and what we're currently being asked to do ourselves. And I think anything else is...
He doesn't like British power because he has a part Kenyan ancestry. Was that the insinuation?
I think that Winston Churchill stood up for parliamentary democracy, and that's what I believe in, and that's what I think we should be preserving. And I think it is very, very odd that the United States, of all countries which believe so passionately, which upholds the principle of representative democracy, should be telling us to subjugate ourselves in this system.